ever heard of a doll so terrifying that people believe it can ruin your life? This is the true story of Robert the doll. No myth, no exaggerations, just the facts that have fascinated and frightened people for over a century. Robert resides in a glass case at the Forest Montano Museum in Key West, Florida. But long before he became one of the most talked about exhibits in the paranormal world, he belonged to a boy named Robert Eugene Otto. Gene, as he was called, was part of a well-known family in Key West. As a child, he received the doll as a gift. Some versions of the story claim the doll came from a servant who practiced voodoo, but museum sources clarify that this detail has no verifiable basis. What is known for sure is that the doll was manufactured by the Steiff Company in Germany, a toy company famous for inventing the teddy bear. Rubber wasn't even meant to be a toy. It was like a window display mannequin. The doll is about 3 feet tall, stuffed with a wood ball, and dressed in a faded sailor suit. Gene named the doll after himself, Robert. From the very beginning, Gene seemed unusually attached to the doll. People in the house said they would hear Gene talking to the doll and a different, unfamiliar voice responding. At first, the family assumed Gene was just making up voices in play, but that explanation began to feel less convincing when things in the house started to go wrong. Furniture was overturned, household items were broken, and every time Gene was asked about it, his answer was always the same: Robert did it. Neighbors reported seeing the doll moving in the windows when no one was home. Guests visiting the Otto house claimed they saw the doll's expression change. Some even said they heard laughter childlike, but not quite human. Gene eventually grew up and became an artist. He studied in Chicago and Paris, married a woman named Anne, and moved back into his childhood home in Key West. And Robert the doll came with him. Even as an adult, Gene kept the doll and gave it its own seat in the house, and later its own room in the attic. Anne reportedly disliked the doll and felt uneasy around it. Visitors during those years said they still experienced strange things. Hearing footsteps above them when no one was upstairs, sensing cold sparks in the home, and seeing Robert's eyes shaped as if watching them. After Jim passed away in 1974, the house was sold to a new family. The doll remained in the attic. Not long after moving in, the family's 10-year-old daughter discovered the doll and, according to reports, became terrified of it. She claims the doll tried to harm her in her sleep. Her parents didn't believe her at first until they too began experiencing odd phenomena in the home. Eventually, Robert's doll was donated to the Forest Montano Museum. He has been on display ever since, inside a secure glass case. But visitors and museum staff say that the doll is far from silent. People who attempt to take a photo of Robert without asking for permission often report their cameras glitching and shutting down. Some claim they experienced bad luck, car crashes, job loss, injuries. Shortly after marking the doll or ignoring the posted rule that asks you to speak politely to Robert before taking his picture. The museum receives hundreds of letters addressed directly to Robert. Many are apologies from people who say they disrespected him and now believe they are cursed. These letters are real. You can see them in the museum, linings all around the case. some are short and desperate. Others are long and detailed, describing the misfortunes that follow their visit. One visitor said her business collapsed days after Luffy and Robert. Another claims that she lost her home, and another wrote that she got into a car accident the same day. She posted a photo of Robert online without asking him first. Skeptics argue this is all coincidence or mass suggestion. Classic examples of the mind creating patterns where none exist. Psychologists say that if you believe you are cursed, your stress and anxiety may lead you to unconsciously make poor decisions, which result in real life problems. That's a fair point. But still, some of the people who have come into contact with Robert are convinced that he's more than just a doll, whether it's an energy he gives off, a psychological effect, or something beyond explanation. One thing is certain: Robert's doll leaves an impression, and if you do ever meet him in person, the museum staff has one simple request: ask politely before you take his photo, because even if you do not believe in haunted dolls, Robert doesn't seem to care.